Hey guys, well, I made it into Casper, Wyoming safe and sound. I actually arrived in the middle of the night. It was about 2:30 in the morning. I had driven pretty much straight through 13 hours and 39 minutes. Now that sounds insane and kind of crazy, but during that trip, I was actually stopping. I felt fine. I was getting out at rest stops. I was using my little Keurig here in the car, making a coffee here and there. Um, I kept looking at the clock and thinking, well, I've just walked around for 15 minutes. I just had a cup of coffee. I'm feeling good. There's nobody on the road. The traffic was very light. So I just kept driving. And I kind of thought, when I get tired or my head is dozing or I'm getting really bored, I'm going to stop. I'll find somewhere, a rest stop or somewhere, and I will, you know, get up in the morning and finish the drive. Well, as I was driving, other than seeing some deer, which I was taking it very easy and using my high beams a lot because there was not much traffic out, I saw a good amount of deer on the sides of the road. Nobody shot across the road or anything. Out here in Wyoming, the speed limit's 80, and I was probably doing about 60 because I was just trying to be cautious for the animals out and whatnot. But gosh, I had beautiful weather. There were times I drove with the windows down. It was a little chillier out. Yeah, so I just kept driving. So I got here in the middle of the night and arrived at my friend's house. I'm staying here till Friday. And from here, I will head down to the Rocky Mountains. I will be in a little place called Granby, Colorado. I'll be there for a week. That's if you hadn't seen the video previous to this about this trip coming out here, this 3-week trip that I'm on. I have a bunch of timeshares that were left to me from my parents. When my mom passed, they all came into our name for Stacy and I. So I'm going to go spend a week there. I've got a ton of computer work to do. So I'm going to sit down with my laptop out there and enjoy that. This particular timeshare place actually has a hot tub in the room. I'm kind of excited about that. So I'll use that. I'll kick back with the laptop, do a bunch of coding and stuff for some website stuff that I'm working on, and just enjoy that week out in the mountains. And from there, I will go over to my sister's who lives near Denver, a little city right outside of Denver. I'll spend a few days with her and then drive down to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where Stacy's brother lives. She's going to fly from Michigan into Albuquerque, visit her brother for a few days, and her birthday is coming up May 28th. So on the 28th or the 27th, maybe, I'll drive down to Albuquerque and be with Stacy, be with her brother, enjoy that company and time. And then together we are going to drive home through the bottom of the United States. We want to check a few places out in Texas. I have another sister that's just south of Dallas. So we're going to hit like Amarillo and Plano and go down to Cleburne, which is just a little south of Dallas. Visit her, maybe go to lunch or dinner or just hang out for the day. Continue our journey home. Um, Not exactly sure the exact path we're going to take or where we're going to stop or how we're going to stop, but that's kind of part of the adventure and the journey. On this video, we have a little bit of a mini tour of the van, of the things that I've changed since my last 2 trips. This is my 3rd trip with the van as a camper. And the newest things that I've added are the AC200p Bluetti, which is a 2,000 watt battery with a really high inverter. I think it's like 1,800 watt inverter. I will be using it on this trip, and so far it has been fantastic. Let me tell you, I've got a Keurig in the car now, so anytime I need a cup of coffee, I just stop and do it. I don't have to wait in the drive-through lines. I don't have to pay for each cup of coffee, at McDonald's, that kind of thing. So I just like the convenience of that. I do not have a microwave or anything, but maybe I'll look into a very small one. I've been actually using the Hot Logic and loving it. If I'm driving a couple hours, I stick something in there, and 2 hours, 2.5 hours later, that little meal is ready and warm, and I'm loving it. And half the time I'm plugging that into the van. I'm not even plugging it into the battery because the van's running and it takes 45 watts. The little AC adapter here for the car, I think, is rated at 150 watts. So it handles it with no problems. And that little Hot Logic is awesome. I've got my little Alpi-Cool fridge sitting right next to me on the passenger seat at this point. I'm using one of those stupid car trays. Keeps it level, keeps it from moving because it's all silicone topped. And it's actually it's not pinned, but it's between the dashboard and the seat. So even if I had to hit the brakes or do a sharp turn between the armrests and the dashboard and the seat itself and stuff, that thing's really not going anywhere. So that works out pretty well. The battery was a new addition. I've kind of configured things a little differently in the car. I've loaded up my tool bag with a little bit more stuff in it now. I've got some extra things for a flat tire, things, you know, different wrenches, different screwdrivers. I even brought fuses because, believe it or not, I've blown fuses on things like the little DC jack that has a little fuse in there, usually like a 10 or 15 amp fuse. I blew one of those the other day. I don't know what I did, but I blew the fuse. So now I have some fuses. I also have some fuses that go into under the hood for certain things. I did blow my inverter fuse on my 110 outlet in the back of the van. I overloaded it one day. And yeah, I blew that fuse. But if I didn't have a little box of fuses with me, what good does that do sitting in my garage, right? So I got the fuses in the tool bag now. So if I do have a problem or I meet up with somebody somewhere and they have a blown fuse, I remember one time I pulled into a gas station, there was a lady with her hood up. She couldn't get her wipers to work. Her fuse had blown on the thing. So yeah, you know, it just always happens. It's handy to have some fuses around. So, you know, and I've added a can of stop leak. I've also got one of those little kits that where you have the little handle and the piece of rubber. So if you could see a physical nail and you pull that nail, you can ream it out, clean it out, put the little thing in there, chop it off, and then use the can of, you know, fill up stuff if you had to. I don't have an inflator. Maybe I'll get one in the future. I got tons of room back there. I've got my mini stove this time, and I've got my little cooking utensils, and I've got a little pan that's actually in my friend's house. So it's not in this video, but it's a little 8-inch, you know, fry pan. Love that little pan. So anyway, onto the video. Here it is, all the things I've got in the van now that I've done differently. I still have tons of room in here. I'm not living in the van, I'm just traveling in the van and using it for camping and stuff like these road trips. Save me the money of a hotel. And each time it's going to change a little bit, I'll tweak a little bit. But yeah, take a peek at it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me things that I may be missing that, you know, that you carry that you think are essential. I'd like to learn. I'm learning in this process. The whole trip is a learning process, and each time I tweak it, I make it better, or I take things out that I didn't use. And I also talk about some security and stuff in the van for my battery pack and for my laptop and stuff. You know, it's not Fort Knox or anything, but it's just deterrence. So maybe that'll be interesting to some people too. All right, thanks. So let's go on that quick walkthrough. This is the passenger side. Got one of those little emergency bottles if anybody needs it. You know, haven't really had to use that myself. And here I've got some lens cleaners for my glasses. Always need to clean those. Ziploc bags because I'm a Ziploc bag freak. My little Dodge books. Nothing much in here. There's actually a secondary one down here, and there's really nothing much in that. The way I've been riding lately is the stupid car tray, holding this level and having the Alpicool C20 right on top. And I can access and open it from the driver's side. Very nice and easy. Here's my little Dry Snugs microfiber towels. There's 2 of them in here. They're great. I use them at Planet Fitness. They go right into my little bag that I carry in. Take up like 1/10 of the space of a regular towel. So that's my front. Here's my passenger side. I've got all my window coverings. If you haven't seen the video for that, check it out. Stacy made these snazzy window coverings for me, for us. Now she's going to be joining me at the end of this one. There's my little adjustable table. It's just a little mainstays table. It goes up and down and at angles. I love it. It's great for the laptop. It's great for cooking. It's great for camping. You can go high or low with it. So it's about 20 bucks worth every penny. This, my mini Keurig Plus. Now that I've upgraded my battery, I have a larger inverter and I can actually use larger items like a microwave or a Keurig. So for me, this is just like being at home. Pop my little pot in, I fill my little water reservoir, and 2 minutes later I got a cup of coffee. This has all my USB-C, my USB-A, and 3 outlets on it. One I use for that CPAP over there. I run it under the bed, right over to here. up through the floor and right in. I unplug it during the day, no reason to leave it plugged in. This goes down the side of the bed all the way to the back, and I'll show you in a minute where my AC200p Bluetti is, and that's plugged into that. The Keurig I set right up here on top of my little dresser, and standing here at a rest stop or anywhere I go, 2 minutes later I have a nice hot cup of coffee. So that's very nice and handy to do right here. Just bam bam, plug that thing in right there, we're all set. So here is the back gate of the car, and the bed platforms are here. Each of these are on legs, there's storage underneath, they lift up on a hinge system. On the driver's side I have a case of water down here. I have a really nice little toolkit. It's got a little bit of everything in it. I've got fuses, I've got tape, I've got screwdrivers, I've got metric wrench there, got a little tire patch kit, got tire gauge. I even have a engine code reader in case I run into a problem with something like that. I got a cutter, got a small hammer, some pliers, things of that nature. I've got my Coleman stove sitting right here. There's still more storage on top or farther deep in if I need it. Got my little dustpan and my broom. Got these nice fancy little boxes. That's what keeps things organized for me. Got some Hot Shot, great for the wasps and hornets, and one heck of a pepper spray, let me tell you, for self-defense if you need it. Off, and some sunscreen, some STP inflator and sealant fix, kind of like a slime. Got my kilowatt meter because I use that constantly. Got a little bit of butane for my stove. I've got my little fire extinguisher, so when I cook up in the van or outside, I take that with me and have it within arm's reach just in case. Got some cleaner, multi-surface cleaner, and this one's just another little tiny that I could stick in my backpack if we go for a walk or something, for more bug spray. On this side, another really fancy box. I've got a 25-foot heavy-duty extension cord with a 30 amp adapter. This is so nice. Turns your regular 110 outlet into a 30 amp if you're at a campground or something and you only have the 30 amp. That's actually happened to me down in Mississippi. Got 2 extra IKEA legs, and if you've seen our bed platform video, you know what these are for. They're all numbered. And in the front of the car, I actually have one of the platforms put down. Gives me an extra 10 inches of room in the front. So if you watch that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I just stored the legs back here just to get them out of the way. This is a Beat It. It's a USB powered battery jump starter for your battery if your car is dead. It'll also have a light on it. It'll also charge other USB items if needed, like a cell phone or something. And then I've got a 1,000-pound, 10-foot long, 2-person hammock here. I love this thing. We've played with it at the house with Stacy and I. It's pretty nice. It's really fun. Now here's where the fun real comes in. This is my Bluetti Ac200p 2,000 watt hour battery, and I've used this for days on end on this trip, 3 days in. Lots of coffees, cpap use, even the Hot Logic I had plugged into it at one point for a couple hours and stuff. I went from 100% at home to 78% here, and that was a couple days use. This battery is insane. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's basically the mini tour of the rear here. There is a lot of room still on this, under this platform, going back beyond this battery and going back beyond the Coleman stove. There's just a lot of room back there. I could still fit more things. It's just a question of, do I really need them? You know, the van is doing what I needed to do and everything is good. So I figured, why add stuff that I just maybe don't need or don't have to have? So keeping it simple. Hope you guys enjoyed. Safe is locked. Check this out. Yeah, that's not very secure. In here underneath the seats are all those stow and go metal bars. Just like that. Okay? So what I do when I'm going to go somewhere on a day hike or whatever, I run this through one of those little metal bars. Then I run the other end of it through itself. So it kind of locks onto that piece. And then I've got an extended piece that sits like this. It's like 4 foot long and it sticks out here like this. I move the clothing bag. Take this really thick, heavy-duty DeWalt. Now it is plastic, but it's a nice case. It's a tool case. I put my laptop bag in here. I close it. I lock it. Well, I don't lock it, but I close it up. All right, this has 2 handles on it. It's pretty solid, pretty strong little box. And then what I use is this master lock python. Looks like a little python head. And the way I use this is I wrap it through the handles. Try and show you here on one-handed, sorry. So the way this works, sorry I had one hand and it was very hard to do. I put my laptop in there and then I put the cord of this python lock through both of the handles. And then the way this works is you tighten it by pulling this cord as tight as you can get it so that this doesn't move and you can't undo the lid and lift it because this chain will be as tight as you can get it. So you pull this out, and when you get it as taut and as tight as you can, you turn that key and it locks this into position. Now, what I do is I also run the end of this cord through this cord. So it's connected to this, through here, and it's connected to the seat mount under there. And then I tighten this as much as I can, and I take all the slack out, and I turn the key and lock it. Now, is this anything more than a deterrent? No, not really. If somebody really is intent on getting something like the Bluetti back there, I've got that set up with a big, thick chain to another one of the seat posts with a big master lock on it. These are just somewhat deterrents. But if I go for, a day and I go somewhere and I leave the van somewhere, first of all, it's all hidden in a sense. It's not out in the open that people could see. And second of all, it's got some, a level or two of security beyond just a laptop bag sitting there that somebody grabs and runs. So I'm going to make them work for it. That's the way I look at it. But this little cord, pretty cool. I think it's called the Master Lock Python. And the head of it looks like a python snake. They make big ones, they make small ones. I think this is a 4 or 6 footer. More than what I need for the moment. And then what I do with that is I stick it up under this platform, and then I put the clothing bag back up under there. There's still plenty of room. This whole bed is pretty much empty underneath there. So that's that. Okay, so this is my driver's seat in the rear. And you may wonder what these little bags are here. And some of you may already know what these little bags are here. Well, each one's made up with just a little bit of pine litter and just a little bit of kitty litter. And they're 8-gallon bags, and they are used with this emergency bathroom in case we need it in the van. Now, what I tend to do is I stop at gas stations, rest stops, campgrounds, or Planet Fitnesses. I have not personally used this because I have it for emergencies at 3 a.m. if I have nowhere else to go. However, I prefer to go to public restroom or Planet Fitness if I can find a 24-hour one. So, the way this works, lid comes off, which makes it into a seat for you if you need it at a campground. You've got a little rim, you've got the bag, you put the bag in with the little rim, you put it down, you do your business, you close this up, you discard this as soon as you can in a safe place, and this all folds back up. It will support up to 340 or 350 pounds. I am 330 pounds, so, and I have sat on it before at the house as well as in the car and stuff. I mean, I can sit down here and still have headroom and everything. But yeah, so it's usable and it folds right up. And the nice part is, fold it up, I stick it back in here and I kind of forget about it because I don't want to have to use that thing. but I have the emergency bags ready. I think we have like 4 or 5. We have some extra bags, and yeah, so if that needs to be done, then it can be done. Behind the passenger seat, I have a nice large print atlas, which helps me out if the GPS isn't working and I'm stuck somewhere. And I'm kind of weird, so I like manuals for every single thing that I have or use. So everything from the Hot Logic to the Bluetti to whatever I have, even the little Bluetooth device that I use for playing music is in that little Ziploc bag, and it keeps me going. I love this little garbage can on the back of the front seat. When I'm driving, I can reach right back, toss something in. And for those of you who are continuity experts, you may see that I'm wearing a Band-Aid. I actually cut my finger when I was coming in here, and I don't know if it was this or the plastic or what, but I got a little cut. So it's a good thing. Now we're going on to the drawers that I had, my little emergency first aid kit, because I just used it. Anyway, I got a mirror in here, and this is really nice because it actually fits in the iPhone holder or the iPad holder up front. So if I bring this back here, because it goes in the cup holder, I can put it in the cup holder, and you can have a mirror. It's pretty nice. Hey, look, there we are. All right, I've got a Walmart bag, just a reusable if I was to walk in somewhere and needed a bag. Got some of those double-sided gel sticky things. If I wanted to stick something here, like the coffee pot, and not have it move, I could. Haven't used them, but I have them. Got some regular wipes. Got some facial wipes, a little more sensitive. Got some bug repellent wrist bracelets. Can never have enough to keep the bugs away. Got some paper toweling. Got some real toilet paper towel. Got some garbage bags. I even got Stacy a little Shiwi. I don't know if she'll ever use it. I'm kind of hoping she does, because I want to hear about it. All right, what's in here? I got some K-Cups, because I'm a K-Cup creature of habit. Sorry, Mother Nature. I got some extra pills, because I'm going to be on this trip for 3 weeks. I even snuck in some Lily's bars, which, being keto and being diabetic, you know, no sugar in it, I can have a little treat of that, you know, like a third of a bar here and there. Now and then. And here's one of the little containers for Hot Logic. What I tend to do is buy the frozen meals, stick them right in the Hot Logic. I haven't even used this yet. That's actually Stacy's anyway. These are my little Mr. bottles. I love these things. This one is vinegar. I use it for cleaning, so I'm not going to spray that one. This one's just water. And these are actually something that hairstylists use. But what happens is, as you start spraying it and then you hold the trigger, you get a nice mist of water. It's really good for cleaning, doing stuff like that. Now, part of this trip, I will be at friends' houses doing laundry and stuff, and at a timeshare for a week too. If you see my first video about this trip, trip number 3, you will learn about that. So I have some dishwasher tabs for dishwashers, which I will use at that timeshare. And I have some different pods and detergents and fabric softeners for the laundry machines, or if I wanted to stop at a laundromat along the road somewhere or something. Like at that I80 truck stop that I was just at, they actually had full laundry in there. I could have come in and brought stuff in, and of course bought laundry stuff, but I have my own. So in here, I have some coffee singles. So if I just had hot water and the Keurig wasn't working or something, I could just hot water it almost like a tea bag, make a coffee single. It is not instant coffee. It's in a tea bag type of style. Much better than the instant coffees. I've tried all of them. This, I've got so many different spices. My salts, my peppers, my oreganos, my Creole, my chili powder. I mean, you name it, I got it in here. Even my Tonys, which is what I love for chicken. You can make raw chicken in that Hot Logic. Got some condiments, some little hot sauces and mayonnaise, things like that. Got all my little silverwares, paper plates, paper bowls. You can never have enough Ziploc storage bags. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yes, I have a problem. Sorry. These are individual and 2-quart drink mixes if I wanted to have some drinks. I've got scissors and tons of utensils. I love this little thing. It's USB, it's rechargeable, and it is a lighter. So if I'm trying to light something like my butane stove, and for whatever reason the little kicker thing doesn't light it, I can put this in there and bam, it will light right up. I love, love, love this little thing. It's so handy. Got that on Amazon. Let's see. And my whisk and my spatula and my little spoons and all that fun stuff. Tongs. Got some aluminum foil because this is great for the Hot Logic as well. I've got some little soap and sponge. In the very, very bottom, I've got a collapsible bowl type of system that I could use to make up a little wash basin if I need it. Got a bunch of little pot holders and little towels, so those are nice and handy. So that's what I have in my 3-drawer dresser, which I actually really, really like this little 3-drawer dresser. There's my fan. I charge that thing up and it's got 3 levels of intensity as well as a intermittent, so it'll act like wind. It'll slow down and go fast and go slow. I think it holds about a 6 to 8 hour charge. I put it on low and it's plenty strong enough. Sometimes I even have to angle it like up at the ceiling so it just keeps airflow going. I'll crack these little side windows here and there, just a little 1/8 of an inch or something, you know, just helps me out. In the ceiling, I have this one little fairy light type of thing, and it lights up blue. And at night, it's very, very pretty, and it gives you just enough light to see what you're doing if you're just trying to do something simple. I close that up, and I close that up, and that just stays up out of the way. Up in front, I got my phone holder, which is wireless, so I don't have to plug a cord into it, although it allows for a cord underneath. Got my radio and stuff. Got my little iPad holder. It's kind of handy. Sometimes I'll even put something on there like a podcast and listen to it through the auxiliary jack there on the radio. And probably the most important thing is I got my little guardian angel there. Story behind that is about 25, 28 years ago or so, my grandma gave Stacy and I one of those, and we put it in the car. And now whenever we take trips or anything, I sit there and give it a little nudge and, you know, say a quick prayer. And we have them in all the cars now. So that's the quick tour of the minivan on trip number 3 with some revisions, things I've taken out and things I've added in. I don't know, I keep it pretty simple. We don't live in the car, so I just keep it pretty simple and it works for me. Oh, I got one more place to show you. In the center console, there's a little bottom drawer pull-out part, and it's got some cup holders. And I keep all of my camera gear in here. This keeps little mounts, little tripods, little lights, all kinds of cords. I even have another Alpicool, because I label everything with my labeler. Another Alpicool charger thing. Got some more of the elastic straps for the stupid car holders. Got a cooling thing for your neck. We even got some change if I have to go to a laundromat or go to a car wash or something. I've got zip ties. I need to put those back into the need to go put them back into the little tool bag that I have back there. Yeah, but all these little mounts are really handy. All the extra cords if I need it. I even got a little baggie of more coins and more gum, because I like to chew gum when I drive. Don't judge me. And, you know, just little phone mounts and stuff. This one's never been used. But if I needed to mount something and, you know, record as we're driving down the street or something, that's what I would use that for. So that's what's in my little center storage. I don't think there's much in here. I got some 5-hour energies, a couple more of those Master Locks, little Band-Aids, more Band-Aids, because I'm always cutting myself. Tape measure, imagine that. And I just got some gum up there, because I like gum. Anyway, that's that.